I am his clone, and I am his clone. We're all clones together. It gets quite confusing at times. Yes, it does rather. Quite often in fact. Yes, very often indeed. Very often. It's got the wife well and truly foxed. And the cat doesn't even know what day of the week it is sometimes. Do you, Tiddles?
This is ridiculous. It's not my fault. I'm more into black magic myself. Yeah, I like a nice drop of chocolate myself too, every now and again. Ha ha. I always was one for the jokes. I do too. We all do. We're all cloned off the same person. It's perfectly natural under the circumstances. Boring, isn't it? Quite agree. So it's good night from me. And it's good night from me. And me. And me. And me. And me. And me. And...
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Feeling Ill. Dolores, how do you keep yourself fit and in trim? Well, Frank, I jog around my local Greater London administrative area every day. And I feel great afterwards. Knackered, but great. Jogging around London gives you as much healthy exercise as sex with the entire London Symphony Orchestra. I do not wish to know that. Kindly leave the stage. It's true though. So girls, if you haven't got a nearby Greater London to jog around, you know what to do. And if you haven't got a London Symphony Orchestra handy, well, tough. You could use a Berlin Philharmonic, but generally speaking, they're not as juicy, and the pips get caught in your throat more often, and they don't last as long. What about you, Ronald? How do you keep fit? Well, I keep fit by drinking 3 gallons of beer a day and eating only health-giving food like extra greasy half-cooked chips, processed bread, butter and smoking lots of really nasty extra high-tar fags. And for exercise, I get up once a day to turn the telly off. And when I feel really energetic, I go to the lav. But I've got to be in the mood for that, mind. Thanks, Ronald. Dolores. Ronald. Reg. Dolores. No? Well, girls, another good way of keeping fit, apart from going to bed every night early with a nice hot water bottle, a good book to read, and a naughty, naughty orchestra, is to go for a romantic romp in the country with the LSO. I write lots of stories for True Life Barbara Cartland Gothic Novels magazine. Stories like Hospital True and Not Really Made Up or Anything romances. Stories about nurses who fall into love with orchestra patients who are sadly dying of terminal cancer and have but a few days left for them to spend together before eternity apart. Another good film is Glenn Miller's Orchestra Wives, which make some of the kissing on Match of the Day seem tame. Also there's Orchestra True Romances, Love Stories, Menage à la BBC Northern Dance, I Lost My Heart to Andre Previn and the LSO, live at the Hollywood Bowl, and for teenagers and Mrs. Betty Rogers, age 20, there's Popstar, with pin-ups of all your favourite Fab Orchestra favourites, which this week has an exclusive on Debbie Harry and the NDO. I am a psychiatrist. I know I am because it says so in the script. Now, how many normal and healthy heterosexual people with no hang-ups, other than being normal, healthy heterosexual people with no hang-ups, they're in the minority, these people ask me, is group sex with a well-known large-performing orchestral group on tour off normal? Well, of course it is, just as long as both you and the orchestra are fully consentant to the liaison and are both over 21, and that you don't tire yourselves out in the first movement. I am not a psychiatrist. I'm a nosy, interfering old busybody who thinks she knows what's good for people better than they do themselves. I am consequently against anything and anybody having sex with a full orchestra outside the sanctity of marriage. I'm against it because, like homosexuality, it is wrong because it's not allowed in the Bible and God says we mustn't, so there. I am a doctor. I know I'm a doctor because I'm wearing a white coat. You know, joking apart for a while, if you are not careful, people, you could catch some quite nasty venereal diseases by having casual sexual relationships with orchestras you hardly know. A loose orchestra, and you can pick up at a party, for example. If you do think you have caught anything green and wobbly, don't hesitate. Please go at once to a doctor. You won't be doing either yourself or the orchestra concerned any favours at all by trying to cover things up. Things like this just don't go away, no matter how hard we may wish them to. Let me know the name of the orchestra concerned, or they'll just go away and spread it on to some other unfortunate person. By acting adulterally, I mean Adultly, by reporting things in time, you will save us all a lot of pain and anguish, and be doing the community a favour. For you, it's too late already. Sometimes we even do deals which don't involve publishing your name. Everything is done always in the strictest confidence between you, your VD clinic, your doctor, your friends, your family, your colleagues at work, the newspapers, and naturally all with the privacy that only a full TV and radio coverage can give to you in this embarrassing situation. In other words, with full discretion always, discretion being the better part of valour. Good night. Christ, I think I've got the crabs. Help! Hello and welcome to Solstice with Coleman. So over now to Dandruff live, for the moment anyway, at Stonehenge. And as you join us at the very exciting moment here at Stonehenge, I'm looking through the lintel now, and yes, the sun's shining through. It's through, the sun's through. This solstice, the sun is here, focused on lying yet again this year. And yes, he's raised the knife, the druid's raised the knife. The druid this year is referee Dick Himmler of Wandsworth United. Yes, he's raised his knife. He's definitely raised his knife. The human sacrifice, beautiful 36, Dolores N, a 23-year-old pastry secretary from Staines, whose interests include sewing and wearing men's clothes. The human sacrifice, Dolores, has squirmed a bit in sheer terror, and yes, he's plunged into her heaving bosom, ripping out her still living beating heart, and the blood's everywhere. And this really good-natured crowd here at Stonehenge today really enjoying this annual summer solstice, come human sacrifice, come pop festival, come direct elections to the European Parliament. So with that, back to the studio. Thank you, Stonehenge, Dandruff, and here's a late result. The 1978 FA Cup was won by Ipswich, and my advice to all those of you considering marriage is don't. And now here's the supplies joke. I've not heard that. Oh, supplies. Please do not throw your cigarette ends in the toilet. I know, it makes them soggy and harder to light.
That was a partly political broadcast on behalf of the Con Laboral Party.
Who writes this drivel?